Hiya review family, keep it tight. My name is Jay Morse, the review guy, reviewing music for the love of music, and I'm back again to bring you another video, and in this one I'm going to be covering the new Within Destruction record entitled Yōkai. This review has taken me quite a bit of time, has been a huge weight to bear on my shoulders. I know that quite a few guys were recommending it, were suggesting it, were wondering where my review was, considering I was a hype man for this record leading up to release, as well as a strong advocate for this band. It's just because it took a long time to digest, that's pretty much my only explanation, but these slammers from Slovenia, if I can just say one thing to preface this entire video, have come a long way, and that's going to be a large topic throughout this video. I've defended and talked highly of their record Deathwish, which I do believe is one of the better slamming, brutal deathcore records to release in recent years, and with the announcement of a new 2020 record, my excitement was through the roof to say the least, considering just how much I returned to Deathwish. Increasing with single after single, it was becoming super apparent that the band was going in an entirely different direction than they had in the past. One that incorporated elements coming from new metalcore, trap, there were electronic elements, and just a vast array of influences that hadn't really been tampered with from the band. A style that, while it did cling to their initial roots, just felt like an entirely different refound band entirely. This record draws a lot of themes from Japanese culture, specifically anime, as is apparent from the music videos. Everything from the song titles, Yomi, Yōkai, Harakiri. If you would have told me that this was the same fucking band that made Deathwish, I would have had an extremely difficult time believing you. Many sections of this band's sound now sound straight out of an Issue song. The vocal passages can be reminiscent of There Is a Hell, Believe Me, I've Seen It, There's a Heaven, Let's Keep It a Secret era, Bring Me the Horizon. Riffs go full-on gen on key moments, and the vocals exceed everything the band has done up until this point in terms of range and dynamics. Despite the fact that Deathwish was so damn cleanly produced, they've even taken that a step further on this record. The enjoyability of this record for you is going to solely depend on how you receive such a drastic turn of sounds, because it's impossible to quantify. This recording is flawless. At times it can become a little bit too much. So much so that it becomes difficult to pick out pig squeal from blast beat to all-encompassing destructive riff or drum line or drum fill that is just busting your head in from moment to moment. It becomes chaotic. It becomes so much. It's a weight that mashes down on your chest from moment to moment. This album is so constant when it does go heavy. Glitches and mixing embellishments run rampant throughout this track listing, and they don't help slow down the pace whatsoever. Yes, there are diverse tracks on this record, which I will get to shortly, but for the most part, the gas pedal, if there ever was a fucking gas pedal on this record, it is shattered by the time this record is finished with. By the track Harakiri, and it's not even super far into the track listing, it's very early on in the track listing, you are getting hit with rapper Bill Saber doing this trap rap, low-tuned, spoken word rap bit over this chilling, low-key instrumental in the background. It's like this swelling trap breakup or build-up, whatever you want to say. And the whole trap influence carries over to the track Bang Bang as well. Jason Richardson, who is famous from, of course, Born of Osiris, Chelsea Grin, All That Remains, appears on the track Sakura, the instrumental track, which is, it took me so much by surprise. It's stunningly beautiful, and it just has the discovery written all over it. Born of Osiris' most acclaimed record. That off-kilter, djenty guitar tone is so precisely Jason Richardson's that I could have told you that without even seeing the feature list, as would most people that's heard it. And the closer, Tokyo no Kuni, is one of the prettiest closers I've heard in a while, and once again, kind of like the whole thematic element of this record, if you would have told me that this is the same band that came out with Deathwish not too long ago, I would have had a hard time believing you. All of these things are good. I'm praising it, but they're just so odd. It's like I'm listening to Within Destruction, but not. And something so different is difficult to process, difficult to swallow, digest, which is exactly why this review has taken so long. Yes, the hard sections are hard as ever, but the overproduction just sucks so much life that would have otherwise been on this record. These 10-ton, hefty, chunky riffs that are just smashing. They do so much to them that they feel flavorless and like a husk of their former self. Mechanical, even though they're not mechanical whatsoever. Funnily enough, my favorite part of this record is the midsection where there aren't features, where there aren't any newfound elements. the one that feels the most familiar to their old material. Malevolent, Kings of Darkness, Alone, and Hate Me are 4 of my favorite tracks, if not my 4 favorite tracks on this entire record. And I want to make one point clear. Not simply because it's how the band used to sound. Yes, they are the most familiar, but they're also very different in their own right. A variety of vocals, much more metalcore elements, those new metalcore elements are coming through in full fruition, and I just think this style serves the band so much better. All of these ideas changed up their sound so much to be almost unrecognizable, where yes, the heavy bits are clearly within Destruction, but just feel like an entirely different band. And I hate that I keep having to reiterate that, but for this review, it's so important to really examine and take into account how much they have changed and how this has changed their sound for better or for worse. I don't personally hate this sound, I just still prefer Deathwish, and I really like a lot of the dynamics, I like a lot of the experimentation. This is avant-garde for the band, even if things like this have been done before. These electronic elements, these rap elements, these hip-hop elements, all of these different elements they are putting into their sound now are so out of their own comfort zone that I think for them to be able to pull it off this cohesively is undeniably impressive in its own right, but in the future, maybe do it even more cohesively or do it with a little bit more mind to how it's going to flow as an entire album. Because now, to just do a quick 180 and turn and do all of this, it's jarring to say the least, it's shocking, and it's weird to listen to even as I go back to this record over and over and over, but there's something intoxicating about it, there is something mesmerizing about it. Listening to this record really is an auditory experience, it is an odyssey in its own right. It's like opening the door to a brand new band and a new opportunity. It's like, who is this band and what are they doing? It's unique, it's full of flavor, it's full of flair, but there is still so many ideas that in execution, despite being really, really well thought out and well refined on paper, it just doesn't pan out as strongly as it necessarily could, and that's the only thing that prevents this record from being a really super positive score, because a lot of these ideas that if they were implemented a bit better, I definitely think I would dig this record even more than I already do. But me personally, I'm going to be giving Yōkai a 7 out of 10. And that is a wrap. Have you heard this new Within Destruction record, Yōkai? If you have, let me know in the comment section below what you thought about it. I would love to discuss this record with you. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. You know who it is, my name is Jay Morris, the Review Guy, and I'm signing off saying farewell.